Hi guys, Mrs. King going to go over some things for math today. Today is Wednesday. It's January 20th, and yesterday Mrs. Gannum started our math unit for the week by reviewing the concept of telling time using this tool that you see here on the screen from Room Recess. And you can find this on Canvas. If you go to your dashboard and click on math, instead of clicking on homeroom, you will see a Bitmoji classroom of lots of different math tools. And the link to this Room Recess clock is on that Bitmoji screen. So you can find it there. Today, I'm going to use this screen to review the concept of telling time to what we call the 5-minute mark. Yesterday, Mrs. Gannum reviewed time to the hour and time to the half hour with you. So again, time to the hour means that the minute hand is on the 12 and the hour hand, which is the shorthand, is on the number of whatever time we're talking about. So at 5 o'clock, the hour hand is on the 5. At 4 o'clock, the hour hand is on the 4, and so on. Okay. When we're talking about time to the half hour, let me show you there. What was the 4 o'clock? Okay. There it was. When we talk about time to the half hour, Mrs. Gannum showed you that the minute hand then travels halfway around the clock to the 6, and that's 30 minutes past whatever hour we're talking about here. It's 4:30. Okay, so that was yesterday's lesson. I'm going to take it back to 4 o'clock. We'll start with that time. Now, again, Mrs. Gannum yesterday started to talk about what we do when the minute hand goes to the first big number, or any number for that matter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 12. Every time the minute hand travels to a number, that's 5 minutes. So what we need to do, and this helps us also remember and practice how to count by fives. So every time the minute hand moves to a number, it's 5 minutes. So as you see on the screen there, the digital screen, you can see it's now 4:05. The analog clock shows 4:05 as well. The minute hand being on the 1, that's 5 minutes. So again, every number is 5 minutes. So if we go back to 4 o'clock and we start counting by fives, we have 5, 10. Okay, now it's 4:10 if you look at the digital clock. 15. So at 4:15, the minute hand is on the 3. 4:20, the minute hand is on the 4. 25 and 30, like Mrs. Gannum mentioned. Okay, going on the left side of the clock, now it's 4:30. We're going to continue counting by fives. 4:35, 4:40, 4:45, and look at the hour hand now. The hour hand is starting to really move towards the next hour, the 5 o'clock hour. It's still in the 4s, but we're moving closer to the 5 o'clock hour. So the hour hand begins to move as well. It's not quite on the 5, but it's really close. So here we have 4:45, 4:50, 4:55, and that tells me that in 5 more minutes, we're going to be hitting the next hour. So 4:55 and now 5 o'clock on the analog and digital clocks that you see. And now again, the hour hand is pointing directly to the 5. So you can see let's go back for a minute to 4 o'clock where we started. And we're going to talk about when that hour hand starts to move as well. So as I start dragging this minute hand, watch the hour hand. And you can see it's gradually moving towards that 5. Okay, so at about 4:30, you can see that the hour hand is about halfway between the 4 and the 5, just like the minute hand is halfway around the clock. As we keep moving the minute hand, again, that hour hand travels close to that 5 until it hits 5 o'clock. Whoops. 5 o'clock. There we go. So that's a review on time to the 5-minute mark. Now we're going to use that and we're going to jump over to another slide. Yesterday, Mrs. Ganem started talking to you about what we call elapsed time. And that just means how long it takes from something to occur. So the best example is like when you go to maybe a movie. You go to the movie at a certain time, and when you are done with the movie, it's a later time. So the elapsed time would be how long that movie is. We can use elapsed time for really pretty much anything. Again, it's the time that something takes to happen. So I've got a couple of examples that I'm going to show you on the screen, and they've used to explain this. And this is a really good way. If you were in person, I would be doing the same thing, using the concept of a number line to teach elapsed time. Okay, and I'll explain how to do that. And then you're going to do some guided practice today, and you're going to just try it out and see what you can do. It says Jamal wakes up for school at 6:30. He has to catch the bus at 7:15. How much time does Jamal have to get ready in the morning? So they drew, and I've got my board here. I'm going to try to do this kind of the same thing, how to set it up so that maybe when you set up yours, you can draw out your number line, and it might help you, okay? So it's just, I'm going to put arrowheads at the end. Now, I know that Jamal wakes up at 6:30, so I'm going to draw a little hash mark there on my number line, and I'm going to write that time in, 6:30, okay? And I know he needs to get on the bus at 7:15, so I need to know how much time he has to get ready. Okay, so the best thing, since we've counted by 5s and 10s, we're going to use that skill to help us with elapsed time. Okay, we're going to start at 6:30, and I know if I add 10 minutes, that's going to be 10 minutes later. I would say that's 6:40. So you can see that they did what I call a hop. They drew a little arrow and they moved it the direction to the right to show that time jump. So I'm going to draw another little hash mark on my number line, and I'm going to write the time 6:40, and I'm going to draw a little arrow. I'm just doing what they're showing on the screen so that you will know what to do when you practice, okay? So in 10 minutes, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the number 10 above it, okay? That shows me that 10 minutes have passed, okay? But I'm not ready. I'm not done. I need to go to 7:15. So I'm going to do another hop. In 10 more minutes, draw another little hash mark. In 10 more minutes, it's going to be 6:50, 30, 40, 50. So I'm going to draw another arrow with a 10 above it. Okay, so each number that I write up here represents how much time has passed. Okay, 10, 20 minutes so far, but it's only 6:50. Let's do it again. I'm going to draw another hash mark, and in 10 more minutes, if I add 10 minutes to 6:50, what do I say? I don't say 6:60. That's not a real time. 10 minutes later than 6:50 would be 7 o'clock. Okay, so we added 10 more minutes, and I showed that with my curved arrow, and then I wrote the number 10 above it. So it's now 7 o'clock. You can see here. Okay, now they added 10 more minutes to get us to 7:10. I need to extend my number line just a little bit. So in 10 more minutes, it's 7:10. We're almost there. Now, I know he has until 7:15. But if I add 10 more minutes, that gets me to 7:20. So that's too much time. I need to just go now 5 more minutes to get to my ending time of 7:15. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the numbers that you see, and I like to circle them. That tells me that I'm going to add all of the numbers that are circled, okay? And then we'll find our elapsed time. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and now I have to add 5, so 45. So it takes him 45 minutes to get ready for his day. And that's how we can use a number line. I'll show it a little bit closer so that you can determine elapsed time. Now, let's slide our answer over. Once I move that, see if it'll do it for me. There we go. You can see I'm correct, 45 minutes. Okay, so that's an example using that number line to determine elapsed time. Today, you're going to do a couple of slides on your own, and it might seem a little tricky at first, but we'll practice, and we'll probably do a lot of examples through the week. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is what your guided practice is going to look like. Okay, you are provided with arrows that you're going to just drag over, and digital times that you on the right side that you're also going to drag over. Make sure you have that little plus up here, and then you can drag your time over. And I would put that first time right under that first hash mark like that. Okay. This slide says Madison goes to recess at 12:15. So, and then recess is over at 12:40. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my first time here is going to be the time that where she starts. We always use that time first. So you can even backspace and put in that time of 12:15. Okay, then you'll need to drag over another digital time that you see and another arrow and show what would happen or what time it would be in maybe 10 more minutes or 5 minutes. Okay, and see if you can figure it out. When you're done, you'll pull this green answer box over to check your work. Don't do it ahead of time. Try to complete it before you check it yourself. But that's going to be your guided practice for today. You have 2 slides to try to do on your own.